Hey guys, we are pleased to say that we are associated with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation charity. And now, a message from one of our supporters.
Hi, I'm Manny Malpass, Metalhead from BBC Two's The Ranga Nation. Thank you so much for the work you do in the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. As someone that grew up different and was drawn to this community because I was different, the work that you do to combat bullying and to prevent prejudice for people like us, just because of the way we look, is invaluable. Every time somebody donates or raises funds for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, they're working to ensure that nobody ever has to suffer again. I'm very proud to have been able to donate to it in the past, and I hope you continue the work you're doing far into the future. Thank you so much.
To learn more about this wonderful charity, head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com.
Hey Jamie, do you like being cozy?
I do.
And do you like staying cozy?
I like that even more.
Then just heading over to www.staycozyclothing.com,
where you can find hoodies, tees, sweaters, and much more, with the brand new fall line available now.
And just enter the Chronicles as one word at checkout to receive 10% off your order.
And make sure you follow them on the Instagram at Stay Cozy Clothing to keep up to date with all the new designs.
Remember, guys, that's the Chronicles as one word at checkout to receive 10% off your order. Weird that we've already had our day.
Yeah.
Oh, we have like 8 hours of difference, don't we?
Yeah, it's mental. It blows my mind every time. Don't know why, it just does.
Trust me, this is not the worst. I had a conversation with another vocalist for my YouTube channel a while ago, and we had 16 hours of difference.
Wow.
He's
Where
from
was he?
Australia.
Ah, Australia, mate. All right. It's weird though, because obviously you're in Las Vegas, aren't you? And obviously, if you think, because obviously the world's round, Australia seems to be a lot closer than...
Right?
Yeah.
But for some reason, it was like 3 a.m. for me or 4 a.m. for me when I had to... That was the only way to actually have a conversation with this person. It's funny. But so basically you guys are in the future.
Yes, we are. We are.
No.
Never thought the British should be told they're in the future, but I like it.
I know, right? How is it out there? Is it better in the future?
I mean, Friday's happened.
Yeah.
It already happened.
Yeah. Just not a lot really going on, to be honest with you. So
I've been asleep most of the day. So.
Well, this is the exciting part, right?
Yes.
The exciting part of the Friday. Here we are.
The best part of Friday.
It's the bit we've all been waiting for.
Thank you so much for doing this. It's really appreciated.
You are so welcome. I just don't know 100%. You guys are streaming it live, or is it going to be recorded for later?
It's been recorded for later.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We normally then release the audio, and then a couple of days after release the audio, we put the video on YouTube.
No, you feel free to do whatever you want. It's just sometimes it's very clear. Sometimes it's totally my bad. I get lost in different interviews I have to do, and I don't remember which one is live and which one is recorded anymore. Nice. That's nice. Let's do it.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to do a little intro piece like I like to do, and then we'll go into it, assuming I don't drop my notes on the floor. There we go. So, Barfightians, we have a very special guest of us today. This lady is the singer of a band I regrettably only discovered earlier this year, but boy, am I glad I did. I will go on record to say she has one of the best voices I have ever heard.
Thank you.
She's a model, a vlogger, a very cute dog owner, and the lead singer of the mighty Infected Rain. Everyone, welcome to the show, Miss Lena Scissorhands.
Oh, so much love. Thank you, guys.
No, like I said, thank you for doing this. It's really appreciated.
So, have you had some sort of a lockdown at all in Las Vegas? Or...
Yes, we did. It was, I believe, Las Vegas closed everything around the middle of March. So a little bit later than certain European countries, especially like Central Europe. I have family in Italy, so I've been told multiple times way before that, January, February, that things are going really bad out there. But here, nobody even was really talking much about it, you know. And then, yes, Nevada, the whole state, they closed everything. I believe it was the 14th or the 15th of March. And I don't want to lie about specific dates, but if I remember correctly, the very first wave of opening certain businesses started sometimes in June. So I don't know if it was like the second part of the June, something like that. So far, we have the second wave of businesses open too, but there's like the third one, which was everything else, which actually is the most essential here in Vegas, like nightclubs, I don't know, strip clubs, things that make this city going, right? Those things, yes, and shows, concerts, obviously, those things are not open. Those are still on hold. Some other states had to go back to phase one on and off because America apparently is not doing so well number-wise, but I'm trying to stay super positive, and I'm trying not to really watch a lot of news, to be honest. I don't know if that's good. Yeah, I don't know if that's good or bad, but I don't know. Yeah, this is the situation. I mean, as I said, a lot of things reopened. It's possible to walk outside, go to parks. It was, you know, we had parks were closed, and any type of gathering with like a lot of people obviously was not okay. So they were closing those, right? But yeah, those are open. You know, we still have everywhere posters that you have to only go in a store with a mask on, or like gyms are reopened, but you have to use a mask, which is super annoying and super difficult. But obviously, you know, people are trying to be safe, which is understandable. So yeah, this is where we are.
Oh, bless you. I mean, I know that it's like 6 million cases, I think now. It's going like rampant throughout the US.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But have you taught yourself anything or learned anything new whilst being locked away?
Yes, I actually did. Thank you for asking. The first part of the lockdown, I was enjoying very much because I do well alone. You know, I love having loved ones close to me, but it so happens that I grew up where my parents were very far, and then I was far from my whole family. I have younger sisters that I also love very much, and I was always kind of far from everybody. And then by moving in United States, I was also far from the band, and I had to travel for everything that was band related. So in the beginning, like I was doing pretty well in the beginning, you know, I have a good self-discipline, I want to think, and, you know, still exercising and like being healthy and trying to read a lot, learn new things. But later on, I started to miss so much the stage and music in general, and just the unknown was scaring me very much, and I just didn't know what to do. And I had a few moments of like being really down. Obviously, I was writing a lot of lyrics, and I was trying my best to still be productive, but it's just not enough. There's nothing that can replace the tour feelings, the recording in a studio feelings, all that, working, rehearsing with your bandmates in the same room, you know, not by internet and stuff. So I did have my moments, I'll be honest. You know, we are all human beings, and and it just happens to everybody. But after a while, I just had this idea to try my best and create a professional environment in which I can actually work and feel like I'm actually working as a musician, not just writing things down here and there. So by that, I mean, I had a lot of support from the fans, and I have Patreon that was going on for a while. And with the funds that I have from the band lovers and supporters, I could invest and build my own little vocal booth and an actual like studio.
That's
So
awesome.
That's awesome.
yeah, so I did it myself. I took my own time, and it was a struggle, but I did it myself. And you know, I put apart like a whole, like almost like a walk-in closet kind of.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I invested in the needed material and then in the needed equipment, because all that studio high quality, even just the microphone or the program that you're gonna, you know, work with, all the stuff costs money, you know.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't ever be able to do that without the help of the Infected Rain fans and just supporters. And thanks, I was able to record a few songs already, and I collaborated with the band Season the Moon, which is a band that I worked before, and that's actually a band of my drummer.
Okay.
Him and his brother, they have this band forever. It's just non-touring band. It's just for fun. It's just this two brothers doing cool, like progressive type of metal. It's a little bit different than what Infected Rain is usually doing, but it's not super heavy, I want to say, but maybe I'm just like super used to it, and for me it's already difficult to like think about heavy in that way. I don't know, but we released Opium in the beginning of August, and I had a lot of fun recording it, and that was my very first song that I completely recorded remotely from the band. Obviously, I had a lot of support and guidance from my bandmates and Season the Moon musicians, like online, but I had to be my own sound engineer, my own critic, and you know, like it's tough. Normally, vocalists either do it with the bandmates or just one-on-one with the sound engineer, and you're just in the zone doing your thing, and you get in that atmosphere and you get in that feeling that you need to deliver through your lyrics, especially if you are the lyric writer. And you know, and in the control room, in a completely different room, there's a sound engineer guiding you, telling you, you know, you can do better, or you know, like this was amazing, let's move on, things like that, right? It's just a teamwork. Now I had to do it by myself, and I had to just do a bunch of takes, and I had to decide myself which ones are good enough to send to the sound engineer that will work further on with the song, right? So it was challenging, but it came out so good, and we had such a good feedback for that song that it inspires me to do more. In fact, you guys are going to be the first people to know that. But we are releasing another song with Season the Moon, hopefully by the end of September.
Amazing.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, the song is ready. We are just working on some visuals, and the song is called Another.
Cool.
I suppose doing all that yourself, it makes you appreciate that song so much more. If you listen to that back, you're like, I did that all by myself.
Yeah, a little bit. I gotta say, I don't have a super high self-esteem sometimes. I don't know. I have to work on that a little bit. But when I have the thumbs up and the, you know, compliments from the sound engineer itself or from other musicians, for me, that's like the best higher type of compliment a musician can have, because your fans love you very much, and sometimes even when you do just a song, they still love you, you know. But when you do something that is super unique, and especially if in order to do it you have to go through all of that and you have that feedback, then it's completely different, you know. It definitely encourages me. It so happens that, again, because of the specific type of childhood I had, And because I was very far from my parents for a long time, and I was the oldest in the family, so never really the spoiled one, I kind of feel like that extra encouragement is exactly what I need to never stop being creative. I'm not saying that I need compliments all the time, because after a while those lose their value, right? But just like feedback, even if it's negative, at least you know. I like when people are sincere. I like when they are very open and they tell you this is better than this, or here you didn't really do as good as you could, or something, right? And it challenges me. I want to be better. I want to do better, especially when it comes to music, because it's my favorite thing on the planet, right? And I was just very lucky to work with these people for so long now, and they know me so well. They feel very free to tell me, you know, like, you can do better than that, or something. You know, so that's helpful. That's very helpful.
It's always good to get a bit of constructive criticism every now and again.
Yeah.
Which makes you better.
And we also did a cover song with my guitar player. Also during this lockdown decided to have a different project with different musicians, and I was part of one of the songs, and we did a cover for a Nirvana song, which was super challenging too. Yeah, we did a cover for Ira Zeppelin, so check it out. It came out like 2 weeks ago, actually.
It's very good. It's very good.
Yeah.
Oh, you've already found it?
Yeah, of course I have.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was a very random choice of Nirvana song. I don't even know the original, to be honest. But...
Yeah, it's not one of the most famous ones. A lot of Nirvana fans even don't know that song. It wasn't one of those songs that you know Nirvana for, but just because of how like grungy and underground almost it was, my guitar player right away said, you know, always whenever I would hear this song, I thought that this song could really sound awesome with heavier riffs and like lower tuned guitars, or like 7-string guitars or something. And he apparently had this idea since forever. I just, you know, I was invited to do the vocals for it, which I'm super glad I did, because I grew up as a Nirvana fan as well. I was so goddamn nervous to do that song. So nervous.
I suppose when you're honoring your heroes, it is very nerve-wracking.
Yeah, definitely.
So now, you're originally from Moldova, is that correct?
Correct,
yeah. So now residing in Vegas. What led you to make the move over to the States?
Well, you know, throughout my life, I lived in different countries. This is my country number 4. Huh? And I think that people can find their own home only if they try different places. You can know for sure where you actually feel awesome. I used to always say that your home is where you're loved, and your home is where you're, you know, there are people that are waiting for you, people that cherish just moments of being with you. But I'm starting to change my opinion a little bit about it. And I think your home is where you feel like you can be yourself, and your home is where you feel free, you know. And it can be any country, it can be any city, it can be in the mountains, or it can be somewhere on an island. It doesn't matter. You know. I feel very good here for now. I don't know what is going to change in my life further on going, but I feel good here, you know. It was never planned for me to move here. It just kind of happened, one thing after the other. I had a lot of interesting propositions as a model, and I worked here, collaborated with some tattoo magazines, with some tattoo artists. I worked in some tattoo conventions and comic book conventions. It just like kind of felt right. I worked with my vocal teacher as well. At the time, she was planning to release her 3rd DVD, which unfortunately had to be canceled because also the technology nowadays, people don't really do DVDs anymore. Everything is online and stuff. But the idea was there, and we were like working on that together. So it kind of just like, I don't know, 2013 was the very first time I visited this country. I had a few friends here. And then I was just going back and forth for a while, and then it just made sense for me to try, and stay.
Right.
I don't have any more relatives in Moldova at all. It's only my band. My whole family moved to Italy, where I lived for 5 years as well. I did my university there, and everybody still lives there. They're not too far from Venice, and yeah, my sisters
nice.
and my mom. Yeah, everybody's there.
I was going to say, the rest of the band, did they move over as well? But you literally just said they were all still in Moldova. Did you?
Yeah, everybody's there. They have, their families and relatives that are there. Nobody really is planning any type of moving anywhere so far, but who knows, like nowadays, I mean, obviously we are not talking about the current situation of the world, but in general, without considering that, it's pretty easy to travel. It's pretty easy to see each other. And just, there are so many bands where the band members just live in different parts of the planet. So many, like, I have some band, like musicians, friends from other countries. And, they keep telling me that their drummer is from America and they are from Australia, or their vocalist is from Canada and the band is from Germany, or something like that. Like there are, it's not unique anymore.
No, well, I suppose it's most of the time you're on the road anyway with them, so it's wherever you lay your hats, doesn't really matter, really.
Absolutely.
So Infected Rain are incredible at fusing genres. The way I see it is, you got like your death metal aspect, your new metal, metalcore, mix of vocal styles, etc. So what bands inspired you growing up?
Well, every time I get this question, I want to specify that I love music in general. And I think that no band specifically inspired for a specific thing, but it's the mix of just good music in general that inspires you to be yourself, and shows you that it's okay to be emotional, or it's okay to be loud, or it's okay to be heavy, or it's okay to scream, or it's okay to sing, or it's okay to rap. There are so many, and I listen to different genres. I listen to older music, newer bands. I love discovering new stuff, electronic, pop, I don't know, rap music, and even like super heavy, like, I don't know, death metal bands. But growing up, I didn't really have a lot of sources for music in the beginning. It was only like radio stations, and we only had like one alternative radio station, which was actually a Russian radio station, and they would play alternative and rock music from Russia. So Russian bands only, right? Which was awesome. It was awesome to like listen to something. At least I remember having this super small little radio, and I would just listen to it on the way to school. After a while, we had this super awesome package of different channels. Yep. My mom upgraded the TV. And we had MTV, which was absolutely amazing. And that's why I fell in love with Nirvana. That was what helped me discover other bands like Nirvana, Offspring at the time. And I would just listen to them for a long time. And then it just so happens that I had friends, musicians. I would go to local shows and just discover more music, more and more. And with my very first salary, I started working very, very early. I was 16. I went to this like local rock shop, so-called rock shop, the only one in the whole country probably. And I went there and I was like, I'm gonna buy some music, and it was cassettes at the time. And for my birthday, I received like some sort of like Walkman. It wasn't really the Walkman, but it was a good cassette player. And I went there, and I remember, this is just so funny. I chose 2 albums judging by the cover, because I didn't know what I'm buying even. Like I never heard those bands. Guess what I bought?
Go on.
So I bought Iowa from Slipknot, and I bought Sepultura album Roots.
Oh, wow.
2 good choices, to be fair.
Yeah, great choices.
I listened to those cassettes until they stopped playing. Until it was impossible to listen to anymore. And that's it. That's how I fell in love with the like heavier and like, you know, rebel type of music. That's how it sounded in my head, at least at the time. And yeah, that's pretty much how everything started. And as I said, moving on, also thanks to MTV and other you know, friends that gave me some albums, I discovered other bands, and I was a big fan of like nu metal growing up as well, because it was just the bloom of nu metal. It was just the time with all those bands like Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, Korn, POD, you know, all those bands that were not afraid to mix rapping and electronics and like all those like newer sounds in the metal, when true metal heads would be like, fuck you, this is not even metal. I would be like, okay, you know, all right.
You like what you like at the end of
Sorry, go on, Jamie.
I was going to say, I know I said in the intro, but genuinely I do believe your voice is one of the best I've ever heard. Because
Thank you so much.
not only is it amazing, but your range and the different styles you can do. You know, you've got clean singing, screaming, growls, and even like hip-hop style vocals in songs like Intoxicating. So how did you discover your vocal range? I've always wondered this with metal singers. It's like how they discover they can growl and scream. Is it singing along to your favorite bands and saying, I can do this pretty well, you know? Or is it, you know, you seek out training to do this sort of thing?
Well, yes, it is actually a technique, but for me, it was a completely different story. I never knew I'm going to be in a band. I don't have a musical upbringing. I don't have musicians in my family. And I had, you know, some friends, musicians, but it was never even brought up ever for me to even try. I can't read music, write music, I like notes, right? Yeah. I can't play an instrument. It was just such an accident that I was just asked to sing for fun. And it was the current guitar player of Infected Rain, Vidic, the one with dreads, and his friend, DJ. He was a DJ, right? He was a live DJ that would like play live a lot of metal songs transformed into like a dubstep kind of thing. But he would do everything live, right? Okay. Like turntables and everything. Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. And they were just fooling around because they were best friends and they would just play and jam here and there. And then I was asked by this DJ to try and sing. It was like some covers. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it, you know, like, without even like knowing what I'm doing, right? After a while, yeah, he told me to do something with this voice. He told me that I should see a vocal teacher because, you know, there's definitely a lot of interesting stuff in my voice. And I just couldn't even sleep. I don't know why, but this, like, he planted this seed in my head and I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I did. I found a vocal teacher in a University of Music in Moldova, and I used to go and see her like 3 times a week for like 3 years almost. And we just, you know, she taught me how to breathe correctly, how to warm up a little bit, just like any other muscles in our body, our vocal cords need to be warmed up, you know, and like we would sing classic songs with her. It was a lot of fun. But obviously when Infected Rain started being Infected Rain and everything started kind of getting serious, you know, I knew that, you know, the band was pretty heavy already. And I knew that I don't want to just be a girl that sings in the band. And I knew if I'm going to sing, I want to be able to be one vocalist. That's it. You know, I never was against having like a guitar player or a bass player, like doing the back vocals like a lot of bands do. But just for some reason, I guess because I used to write since I was 14, like poems, and I applied some of them in the beginning of Infected Rain. And just because when you're the writer of the lyrics, it's like your responsibility to actually deliver what it is that you're trying to say. And it was a challenge for me to be the singer that can do it all, right? Like that is enough. Just the one singer is enough, right? And I did a lot of mistakes. I heard myself. I wanted to scream for sure. Definitely I tried with other bands, and I did like some like covers to understand like how other women in metal are doing it, or how men in metal are doing it, you know, just to understand. And it felt right, but I just couldn't do it for long. Like whenever we were on tour, I couldn't do it for too many shows in a row, because it wasn't actually right the way I was doing it, until I discovered the DVDs of Melissa Cross and her vocal techniques, the brutal type of vocalizing that she was teaching to huge musicians like vocalist of Il Nino, Slayer, Slipknot, like those names, huge names were on her website and on her DVDs, like Randy from Lamb of God, Angela from Arch Enemy, like so many, right? And I was like, okay, well, if she can guide people like that go on tour forever and they have shows every day, I can definitely learn from her. So I just tried to learn from what was available at the time. I bought her DVDs, I saw her videos, and I was just doing it by myself. But it improved very much. But the real improvement and the real change happened when I met her for the first time in person, and that was in 2013. And not only by her techniques and vocal exercises and just guidance, that is like about vocals. Not only that, but just she's almost like a mentor for me.
Yeah.
She made me believe in myself so much, like nobody else on the planet, not my family, not my loved ones, and not my bandmates even, were able to give me that encouragement. Nobody did it the way she still does it, because we became super close friends, and she still does it. And even if I talk to her once a year or twice a year, that's enough. The encouragement she gives me, I believe in myself. I know I own what I am, and I'm not afraid to be what I am because of her, you know? Because I always was very humble about when it comes to music, and very, very like a lot of other friends, musicians, including her, would like kick my ass every time whenever I say that. But I used to say, you know, I'm not a musician. I'm not even a musician. I'm not that talented. And they were like, are you fucking kidding me? What is wrong with you? But it's only, I say that because I understand that a lot of people either are born with an amazing talent. They don't even need to learn much, and they got it. You know, everything I do and everything I did was hard work, and is hard work. And it's okay. I like it. You know, it's a challenge for me. I like it. But yeah, I am one of those vocalists that needs at least a 30-minute warm-up, even if I just go in a rehearsal room, or every day going on the stage, I warm up. And it's unnerving for other bandmates or other bands that are touring with us, but I have to do it. It's part of my ritual. Otherwise, I'm not confident on the stage. I need to do it. I know other musicians that don't even care. They take a shot or smoke a cigarette and they sound perfect. And they really do. But they really do. That's the thing, you know? It's not that they are arrogant or anything. They really do sound perfect. I don't know. I need that little ritual to sound confident at least. So yeah, that's how it's a little bit a different story for me, I think, than other vocalists in metal, especially, you know, when it comes to like this brutal type of vocalizing. But if I need to add something a little bit regarding the different types of vocals that I'm applying, it's just my love for music. I just think that it doesn't matter what you have to do. If you need to whisper, or you need to scream your ass off, or you need to rap in order to deliver that emotion that you try to put on the paper first, fucking go for it. It doesn't matter if you're a pop singer or a rapper or a metalhead. It doesn't matter, you know? That's my opinion. Because whoever invented those rules are just putting you in the box.
It's amazing when you have that connection with somebody as well. When you meet somebody and instantly just, that's it. Friends for life. Absolutely incredible. So it's so cool that you have her. So, yeah. So you said that your family aren't very musical at all. So what were you aspiring to be before music came into your life?
Yeah, I was actually already on a good path. I was a hair and makeup artist, and I started working as a hair and makeup artist very young. I loved being creative in that aspect, and I started working with photographers. I started modeling when I was 19. And then I started working for some TV shows as a hair and makeup artist. And the goal for me, I was doing very well. I had a lot of customers. I worked in Italy and in Moldova. And the goal for me was eventually to have my own place and not to work for somebody, obviously. But yeah, just the music took over, and it gave me way more emotion and way more satisfaction than even the job that I absolutely love. I was in love with my job. I loved it very much. You know, I had to sometimes have side jobs and part-time jobs together with being a hair makeup artist, just because when in the beginning of the band's career, we really needed money to invest in the first record, first videos. Nobody gives you that money out of nowhere. And it's not a secret that we've been independent for the first 10 years. You know, so we had to do it ourselves. Later on, obviously, with the money that we would do from merchandise sales or the small fees for the shows that we could get, that would like cover certain expenses. But yeah, in the very beginning, it was no covering expenses, just give, invest. But yeah, it was totally worth it. But yeah, I was a hair and makeup artist, and honestly, I stopped working full time. I want to say 5 years ago. But before, it was a full-time job, and they were very patient with me, the place where I used to work, because I've been touring, you know, and even before this 5 years, it was okay for them. They would always wait for me, let me go. They understood that this is the only way.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was nice.
That's awesome. No, although the answer is probably very obvious, where did the name Lena Scissorhands come from?
Yeah, the name is already pretty obvious, huh?
Yeah.
Funny thing is, I always was a big fan of Tim Burton, and especially like this specific movie, Edward Scissorhands. So when I finished the hairdresser school, I was still in high school, and I had to go to hairdresser school like in the second part of the day. During a whole year, I had to study, and when it finally happened, I was so happy about it. My friends, they ordered this t-shirt for me. It was custom, and it said Lena Scissorhands. And that's it. It just stuck to me. And then internet kind of came in my life little by little, and you had to create your own, like, I don't know, email name or whatever. Yeah. And I just used that, and it just stuck to me.
I love it. I had a feeling that might be the case, but you never know. So the first song I heard by you guys was Orphan Soul.
Okay.
Now, they are really deep lyrics on that song. So you said that you write the songs for your band. Do you take your lyrics from like life experiences, or are they songs based on like ideas you've thought of, like things from fiction and whatnot, or is it a bit of both?
A bit of both, but mainly I write about my past experiences or present experiences. Some of the I do get inspired very much by movies and books I read. I like to think that I'm a pretty aware person, so I pay attention to little details, some that people even don't notice sometimes, and I have to like go back or read it again. Sometimes it just blows my mind, and it's such a simple like idea sometimes, and I just have a notebook or just notes in my phone, and I just write them down just so I don't forget, and then I come back and I evolve it, right? But the majority of my lyrics, especially when we talk about Orphan Soul, are based on my past, and that is definitely, you know, my childhood in a few words or in a few notes. You know, family issues, everybody has those, somebody more serious than others. And I knew it took me a while to actually, I wrote those lyrics, and I just accidentally, I was just, you know, going through it, and I got encouraged by a friend to actually apply it to a song, because I was like, I don't think I'm gonna ever sing about this. Because I don't know, I just thought that I didn't want to whine, you know, I didn't want to sound whining. Like, because I'm not, yes, my past and my childhood was pretty difficult. I don't want to say rough or anything, but it was pretty difficult. But I know there are people that had it way worse, way worse. I'm proud of how I dealt with it, definitely. And I think, you know, I learned a lot from it. And that's why I decided that I need to talk about that. Because unfortunately, we live in a society where people are just so used to blame their past or the people in their past for how they are, instead of working on themselves and being better and understand how to deal with certain situations without pointing a finger or without blaming something that you can't even change anymore because it's in the past. Instead, think about now, you know, think about what you can do now and what's in your power now. So that's why I decided that, you know, I wanted to put that into a song. And my band members were very supportive about it. It was pretty challenging because when we were doing the music video, it had to be very specific. We have the making of online. If you guys are curious, you should take a look, because I used some of the little artifacts, I like to call them, from my real life. So yeah, it's
cool.
It's interesting. Mm-hmm.
I'll have to check that out. Have you ever found that where you've written stuff down and then gone, why have I written that again?
No, but I did like, I would read it and I would like, this is dumb. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, not even 60% of the stuff that I write becomes a song. So I write a lot all the time. Like, you will see me out of nowhere grabbing a phone hectically and be like, oh, I gotta write it down, but I'll forget it. Yeah.
I look forward to the next song about talking to two British guys on a podcast. So we were saying earlier, you've done a couple of cover songs away from Infected Rain recently. We talked about your cover of Aero Zeppelin, and I heard an amazing cover of All the Things She Said by Tattoo.
Thank you.
Just absolutely loved that. Are there any other cover songs you'd like to give like an Infected Rain spin on? Have you talked to the guys about doing?
Yeah, you know, I'm very careful when it comes to covers, because I don't know, I just think that you have to really relate to the song in order to feel it and actually deliver like that message, right? First of all. Second of all, I really love the covers that actually change the song a little. So it's your own version of that other song. You're not trying to like sound exactly the same or do the same tricks. So it's a little bit more challenging when it comes to that, especially in my opinion. But we were thinking with the boys to like eventually have a big show that is going to be completely different, and we would invite like other musicians, even with instruments that are not typical for Infected Rain, like violin and piano and whatever, something like that, and just create this big show with different genres and sing Infected Rain songs and some covers, maybe some of them even acoustic. But this idea is so big, and it's a cool idea. Everybody in the band wants to do it, but it will take a lot of time and money to make it real. So if we will actually do that, we should also record it in it, like for a DVD or something like that. So that's why we haven't yet. You know, and I'm very far from the band now, because you would think now is the perfect time to do something like that, but I'm far, so I can't travel yet to go and work with the band, but hopefully closer to the end of the year I will be able to, because we are working on newer stuff, and you know, we need to like film something for it and stuff like that.
Amazing. This song is going to, this question rather, is going to sound really weird without context. Tell us about bananas.
Well, actually, yeah, no, thank you for asking, because
Tom looks so confused.
Yeah, right. Bananas is the name of my YouTube channel, and I created my own YouTube channel a little bit of, like, I think it's a year and a half now ago, a year and 6 months ago. But I was told to do that for so long by fans and friends. Everybody was always so convinced that I have a lot to talk about, and it could be interesting, you know. But obviously I'm not that super skilled to do so much by myself, like editing, filming. You know, you can be good at talking and sharing your life or whatever, but there's a lot more behind it. So you have to have like a team or somebody that believes in you just as much, you know, to start with. And then, I was encouraged by my guitar player, which is the founder of Infected Rain. Me and him are from the start, and he encouraged me, yes, to do more and like make sure I have behind the scenes of every photo shoot, every music video, like recording, and share the you know, the other aspects of my art life, like, I don't know, being a model or being a hair makeup artist, or just being in the kitchen and being myself because I love cooking. I don't know, you know, just sharing everything and just have this specific different platform where I can share that with people. And it doesn't matter how many people follow me. It doesn't matter how many people watch it. It's just a good place to just collect all this information, and whoever is really interested enough is going to find it, you know. And it's interesting. It really is. I'm having fun. In the beginning I was super nervous about it. I was like, there's no way I'm that interesting to have so much information to give to people. But it just, I'm very inspired, you know. I got used to it now, and I just listen to requests that some of the close fans, they would be like, you know, if I have a lot of people keep asking me about, hey, tell me about your dreads, how do you take care of them, color them, whatever, then, you know, I did a video about how I literally was coloring my own hair during the video, had no makeup, and I was like, I don't care if you like me or not, I'm gonna look funny. I'm gonna tell you, to make it more fun, I'm gonna tell you the story of the different hairstyles I had during my life. And I placed some super funny teenager pictures I had, so it was fun. But so little things like that, right? sometimes I'm out of ideas, but yeah, I just try to be myself. Yeah.
It's cool because it's like a little online diary. So when you're older, you can go back and go, "Oh my god, I remember I did this. I remember I did that." That's so cool.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Very
amazing.
correct. And it's also a good way to, whenever like a fan or just a friend asks you something, and it's like, we need like hours for me to tell you all that. So I just link. I copied the links and I'm like, okay, do you need popcorn?
Yeah, see this and more.
So the last Infected Rain album came out last year.
Yeah.
Is there another album on the horizon, or is the plan to tour for the previous album first? I imagine touring got sidelined.
Yeah, because we don't have specifics about when touring is going to be possible yet. We can only hope. But yes, we are working on a newer album, although it's kind of early because Endorphin came out in the end of the year, autumn of 2019. And normally you need at least a year and a half or two to release the next one. Between promotion and between touring with that album, you need time to present it to people, right? And especially because this was our very first album together with our record label. Things had to be done the way the music business is actually used to do things, right? Not just the way you want it. So, which is fine, it's fine because that's how you get to be on radio stations, and that's how you get to be, on the shelves of like music stores and stuff like that. So yes, so far we are taking our time because, as I said, we are not in a rush because it's pretty early, but yes, we are working on a new album. We have an idea and a concept for the name and the artwork, and we're working on it.
Amazing.
Awesome.
I look forward to that.
Did you ever think that you would get to where you are today?
The other day I was actually realizing that we are working on our 5th album, and I had goosebumps, and I was like, oh my God. I remember being a teenager and listening to bands that only had 5 albums, and I was like, that's probably the end of their career. Yeah. I'm like, no, fuck no. I'm like, this is so cool. When you have 5 albums, you're a superstar and you've done it, But it's not like that. The real life is just not like that, man. You just continue being creative, be yourself, and just put music out there for as long as you can, So yeah, I mean, I love where we are, but it's never like a goal to be somewhere. The goal is to just give, Yeah. That's it. And if people love it, awesome.
I do. I've become a proper little fanboy the minute I am.
Nice.
So,
well, too bad you didn't discover the band last year because we played in the UK for the first time last year.
Yeah, and I was going to go to that tour and I couldn't afford it. I was so annoyed. It was the Lacuna Coil tour, wasn't it? Yeah, I was going to go. I could have discovered you sooner. Typical. So, I posted that we were talking to you today in a bunch of like Infected Rain groups and fan groups and download festival groups, and basically seeing if anyone had any questions. And I got a couple of questions together for you, if you don't mind answering some from other fans.
Definitely.
So Carly Bowers basically says, no questions, just wanted to say that she loves your vibe.
Well, thank you.
As Ross Baker said, will there be any European headlining tours or UK festivals on the cards?
It's very difficult to answer that question. Obviously, there are plans, but I can't promise anything. All I can say is stay tuned because things change and plans change. I don't know. All I can tell you is we did try our best together with everybody who is behind the curtains, like record labels, booking agencies, promoters, and managers. We tried our best to just reschedule everything from 2020 to 2021, and we are receiving propositions and invitations for newer events, but none of those are 100% happening yet. We don't know. we're trying, you know. Unfortunately, it doesn't depend on us. Every country, hell, even every city sometimes, if we're talking about bigger cities, they have their own rules. And something that is okay for Germany might not be okay for Switzerland, or something that is okay for Switzerland might not be okay for the UK. You know, rules are so different in every country that until everybody's going to be on the same page, like actual tours are going to be pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Such a shame.
So were there plans to come to the UK before everything got cancelled, or?
Yes, I mean, we were thinking about that for like another bigger tour, because you know what it is, citizens of Moldova need visas to come to the UK, and to acquire such visa is not that easy, and it's very expensive. So obviously whenever that is happening, we are going to try to include as many cities as possible for it to be at least, you know, worth it, because they give you this visa for a short amount of time, so you can use it multiple times. So yeah, plans were there, but as I said, unfortunately I can't tell you more than that.
That's all
Fair
good.
enough.
Yeah.
So, my friend Andy said, with your recent cover of All the Things She Said with Chase the Comment, are there any other duets that you'd like to do?
Oh, of course, you know, of course. I've been talking with our manager the other day, and I asked him, you know, for now just an idea, but like if we ever think about like a vocalist or a band to collaborate, how does it work? Because I didn't even know, you know, because look, I get a lot of invitations from people, and some of them I take part, some of them I just can't because there's no time, or I don't know. But I was curious, how does it work when when you talk with like big bands, right? And the manager said, well, that's why I'm here for. So of course, you know, it would be great to have, you know, like a duet with, I don't know, Chino Moreno from Deftones, for example. He's done so many, you know, and I'm a huge fan of that band, huge fan. And especially of his vocals. So it would be so crazy to have him on a song, you know, or I don't know, Randy from Lamb of God, or
Your Randy's together, your vocals would be incredible.
Thank you. I have some ideas, I have some thoughts, but for now, none of those are like actually 100%. So maybe not even with this album, but for the future, definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. I'll try to do some stuff together.
Keep my eyes peeled.
And Andy also says, as you love horror movies, if you could choose the way in which you'd die in a horror movie, how would you like it to happen and by who? I liked this question.
Oh my God. Well, I want mine to be Pennywise's victim.
Amazing.
Yeah.
New Pennywise or old Pennywise?
I would go with the newer one, but I'm a huge fan of the old movie just as much as I'm a huge fan of the newer one and the actor, you know, but I would go with the newer one. Let's give it that vibe.
Like it. And how?
I mean, I'll be just floating, I guess. Right? Because we all float. Yeah.
Amazing. So, before we get out of here, is there any plugs anywhere people can find you in the world on the old social media and whatnot?
Oh, everywhere. I'm literally everywhere. Just Google it. Just Google it.
Good
no,
answer.
Literally, it is. I mean, I tried to be everywhere possible. I'm not that good with Snapchat. I tried, but I'm literally everywhere else.
So we'll find you doing some TikTok dances if we search hard enough then. Oh, has everyone froze?
No.
Yeah, his internet's there he is.
Oh, there we are. Hello. That was weird.
Welcome back, mate.
Oh, yeah. I don't know where that cut out. There we go.
I have one last thing I want to ask, actually, because you said you love cooking. Do you miss Moldovan cuisine?
Well, it so happens that we don't have a huge Moldovan traditional like cuisine. We do have a few dishes that are pretty typical to Moldova, but Moldova used to be part of Romania long time ago, you know, when kings were around. Then after being independent for a while, being the Republic of Moldova, we used to be also part of USSR. So we kind of have both culture of like more of Eastern Europe with like Russian type of cuisine and Ukrainian mixed with Romanian and Hungarian kind of together. Okay. But because basically if you go to Romania, you can find a few things that are typical from Moldova. And if you go like to Ukraine, you can find a few things and so on. Because we have so many nationalities in Moldova. Like hell, even, you know, my parents are not even from Moldova. So my mom was actually born in Moldova, but her parents are Greek and Polish. My dad is completely from Armenia. He was not even born in Moldova, you know, and his whole family is Armenian. And there are families like that. Almost every family is either half Ukrainian, half Moldavian, or like fully Romanian, but live in Moldova. So the majority, I would say the majority of the population of Moldova is pretty mixed. So that's why we have a mixed culture of food.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I eat vegan for over 4 years.
Oh, nice.
But there are vegan versions of a lot of dishes that I love very much, because I love Mexican food. I love, you know, Asian food and Indian food. I love it very much. You know, I just love enjoying a meal. I don't know, for some reason, I grew up in a pretty poor family, and food for us was always just so we are not hungry. It was never something like unique. It was never something sophisticated. Yeah. So when I started cooking by myself and I started discovering how many things you could do and have, and then later on, when I was doing a little bit better in life and I would work and have my own budget and everything, and I would like experiment with food and travel and try different, you know, typical foods of different places, I just loved taking my time with food and actually enjoying it. In fact, when I cook, I use a lot of different type of spices, some of them very unique. You know, like I like to go to an international store we have right here where I can find stuff from different countries. Like I do love Italian food, but like real authentic from Italy, because there are a lot of American versions of Italian food, because Italian people, they used to come to America for a long time, and there are a lot of families that have Italian roots, so they still, you know, like they Americanized a little the Italian dishes, which is also interesting, but it's not really like the actual Italian food. If you go to Italy, so because I lived in Italy, I got spoiled with good coffee, good wine, good food, you know, and I just love that so much. So whenever I cook, I just try to never think about like, you know, don't put this and this together because it's too much or too expensive, you know, or that, especially because, you know, I don't really have a big family here or anything, but I just love cooking. I think, you know, I love going out for food as well, but I just enjoy the ritual of cooking and taking my time with that, and just, I don't know.
That's awesome. I was just intrigued, that was all.
Amazing.
I actually do have a few videos of cooking on my YouTube channel.
I'm definitely going to watch those. I'm going to find those after this. I love food so much.
I should do more of that because, a lot of people are curious, how do I replace certain things, you know, in make them vegan version. I really like to eat healthy as well. So I like to do my research when it comes to food in general. So I don't just eat vegan. Because there is a lot of vegan food that it can still be like bad for you, but I just find it interesting and challenging to find the healthy thing, you know, and to cook healthy and eat healthier at least. I'm not saying that's all I'm eating. Obviously not, you know. But I was never a huge fan of like, you know, fast food or super fried food or like a lot of snacks or a lot of dessert. I just like to everything, a little bit of everything, kind of. I don't know.
Moderation is key, as they say.
Yeah, try to.
Now, before we get out of it, I'd just say to all of our listeners, please, everyone go out and check out Infected Rain, especially Mold, because I fucking love that song.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. I've had a great time talking to you.
Thank you, guys. I had fun too. Thank you for having me, and thank you for speaking so highly about, you know, what we've been done so far. Thank you. I had fun.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
And as soon as you can get back to the UK, I shall be there front centre.
Okay.
Cheering like a little cheer girl.
Maybe we can do a live interview, you know?
I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Of course. Just make sure you tell me in advance so I know about it.
Yeah, I'm just going to turn up at the door. Let me in.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Really, really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. You guys have a good day.
And enjoy the rest of your day.
Have a great day. Take care.
Hi, I'm Frank Guglielmelli, and I'm the narrator for some wonderful audio dramas from Sciscast, like Marty and Mars, Bounty Hunters, and a great part in Val Toby, with much more to come. You can find these programs on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts, or head over to our website, www.sciscast.com. We are excited to announce that we are now affiliated with the Chronicles of Podcast with Tom and Jamie.